Well, hello. Got another excellent vinyl happy hour video for you set up, including some rock, some jazz, some blues, and some metal. So I'm pretty stoked for it. We're gonna jump right into it. I am Skylar Davis, owner of Culture Shock Clothing and Records here in Rockford, Illinois. Also, where you can find these records is at cultureshockshop.com. So cheers and welcome aboard. It's very exciting because we're going to be talking about a band who's somehow managed to keep the hype train going for years, even though it's 13 or 15 years from their last release. Band I've been listening to for 25 years is Tool. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But one thing I like to do every week when I do this vinyl happy hour video is to feature some of the indie exclusive stuff that's being made special just for independent record stores like Culture Shock or your local independent record store wherever you might live. Jack White is quite the person to reckon with in the music business. I have a lot of respect for him, and I pretty much like every direction he's taken his music. Of course, starting with the White Stripes, every album that they put out was pretty much choice, especially a couple of them. I got into them in the 90s, actually, so I've been listening to, White Stripes a long time too, and Tool. So I've got my little Third Man Records whiskey glass. This was really cool, a gift to me. This was actually a handmade, special whiskey glass that is classic blue and yellow colors they use. A local artist from the Nashville area had made that, so I was like, I gotta keep it themed. Plus I've got some Nashville whiskey here, the King Snake. So let's talk about this new album though, Fear of the Dawn. A really cool kind of a concept package from Jack White. It's rockin', it's all over the place. He's been really stepping away from more of his traditional 1-2 garage rock kind of shtick and really experimenting with a lot of dubs, a lot of overlaying, and even there's a guest spot on here with Q-Tip, actually. So this is kind of themed where it's like Fear of the Dawn, and then you kind of go into the dark side to the dusk till dawn. So side 1 and side 2 are themed kind of going with that, the songs, the way they're laid out and everything like that. So it's a concept that works really well on vinyl because you got your light side and your dark side. This is also, they're calling this Astronomical Blue. So this is the indie store exclusive. You can see all the cool swirls and patterns in it. The jacket also done really well, nice thick kind of cardboard. And then of course some art and some inserts that go along with the music. Very cool packaging. And then you've got kind of the day side and the night side of Jack White here also on the inserts. So really great album. Like I said, it's kind of all over. If you really just think about the White Stripes, it's not going to be just like that. I mean, he's got his punky garage roots. Also, he is also a huge fan of, Led Zeppelin and all the classic guitarists and stuff like that. So his guitar skills are phenomenal. And he's got a lot of effects and a lot of layers to the guitars and the vocals. So it's definitely all over the place. It's a great rock album. Super happy to see a new one from Jack White. You know what? This is only his 4th solo album, I think. He's already got another one planned to get released later this year, here in 2022. So he's really stepping up. I'm going to do 2 releases in 1 year. So check that out. That's, of course, at cultureshockshop.com. We don't know how limited it is. I don't know if it's limited or they're going to keep making them for indie stores on that color. But in case it's limited, get it while you can. This next one is limited. This is an original master recording, a reissue of Electric Light Orchestra's Eldorado. This is an album I have never really given enough attention to. And getting it on this super nice package, this is technically an indie store exclusive too, because MoFi is doing the super vinyl, their finest vinyl formula they're calling it. I'll show you that in a second. But even if they're making regular versions that are available through their website or other stores, these are numbered. There's a little gold numbering down here. This one happens to be number 4681. I don't know the number they're doing. They might be doing 5,000. But also really great packaging. You got the original master recording strip going across the top there to let you know, super, super heavy duty gatefold. And then the insert also has a little more info about some of the other original master recordings. Original master recordings, by the way, these are like a complete analog from the original master recording, high quality records. This super vinyl formula, I doubt you're gonna see through this on the camera, but this is actually clear. I should have had a little light over here. This is actually a clear black vinyl. It's like perfectly pure vinyl with no imperfections and imperfections. It's like a audiophile pure vinyl. And it is see-through, and it's spotless and quiet. This is such a great sounding album. I should also say the reason I'm really picking this album out, and I thought it was a good release, is because this is also the album that came out right before what is the ELO after this. Face the Music, that has Strange Magic and Evil Woman and more of their well-known hits. This album, though, has such good songs on it, and this is the first album where they brought in an actual full orchestra to work with the band, and that's why I think getting this on an audiophile pressing, even though they're a little pricier, I mean, these are going to be about 80 bucks. You hear the strings, the arrangements, the music, it is beautiful. And it deserves this presentation, I think. It deserves this kind of audiophile quality. Can't Get It Out of My Head, Boy Blue, Poor Boy. I mean, God, there is actually a lot of really good songs on this album. And hearing it done on such a nice recording, you know, finding originals is getting tougher. And finding an original in mint condition is obviously even harder. So hearing it done brand new, repop, audiophile quality, so amazing. I mean, this electric light orchestra, I pick up a lot of, you know, I mean, even a lot of some of the Beach Boys, like, you know, string stuff, and of course Beatles, kind of that glammy pop, you know, just good rock. They're progressive in a way though, so this is really a prog rock album. So we're mixing in some blues, jazz, prog, metal, everything here on this Vinyl Happy Hour. What a great sounding album though. I give that a second listen just to hear those details pop with this album. Such a nice piece. So this is the Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, you know, super vinyl, or whatever they want to call it. Speaking of super vinyl, there is some more super vinyl. So this is also technically an indie store exclusive from Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. They are doing this Ultra Disc 1-Step. This is the super vinyl, and also numbered. This is box number 3377. It's fun to pick your number. But this is a little different than whatever series of that Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab they're doing. This is actually ultra audiophile in a box, highly presentational, and it plays at 45 speed. So it's a double LP. It does come with this great little thing to tell you what the difference is with this Ultra 1-Step production, where they take the master lacquer that produces, you know, kind of like the negative or the female aspect of the pressing, and then they make only one copy of it to the positive, or like the male presser, to press the vinyl with. Typically, you're getting one more step. They'll show you actually how they make stampers so that they can make a ton of pressing. So this is actually only one step removed technically from their mastering process. Wow, this is a sensational album though. Like I said, the presentation, let's show off a little bit. What a lineup though. Not only is this just one of Muddy Waters' greatest albums, the folk singer, really one of the only times you're going to hear him really stripped down in acoustic, you've also got Buddy Guy playing guitar with him, and Willie Dixon. I mean, this is a heck of a lineup. Really cool packaging though. Let's see, this vinyl I noticed is actually even more clear than the Electric Light Orchestra MoFi. So it's possible. So it's a 45 too, so there's only a couple tracks on each cut. But this is eerie sounding almost, how good it sounds. With this stripped down blues album, you can hear the way they're playing their strings on these acoustic guitars, and Muddy Waters' vocals, you know, sometimes he'll kind of howl at you, and then sometimes he's just kind of moaning and singing real down low. I mean, just the details, the rich details that come out of this record are amazing. So it is a double LP because they have to stretch it out, and they put it out in like the choice spot of where the needle hits your record, so you're going to get the most audiophile sound you can get from this release. And it comes well packaged in this box set. The inner jackets, which would usually be like your outer jackets, are this really nice, soft, almost kind of rubbery feeling jacket. You got them both packed in there with foam around them. Of course, your MoFi poly-lined inner sleeves. So the attention to detail is over the top for this. These are about double the price of the regular Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab releases, but just another great Ultra Disc 1-Step release. They've done, you know, some Jimi Hendrix, some Eagles, some Janis Joplin, so they're not doing a ton of releases. There's a lot of work that goes into putting these together, I'm sure, and it comes in this nice elaborate box set. So get them if you appreciate the record a lot and have a system that's worthy enough to really justify that upgrade to a pressing like that, I think. I mean, get them if you want. I mean, I think sometimes as a vinyl prospector, I know it's like, I'm not talking Bitcoin here or anything, but I've seen some of those go up in value nuts. Like, I can't believe what they put out. This is the Jimi Hendrix one or whatever, and the Santana one. I mean, even though they're expensive to start out with, now I've seen them reselling now because they made them and stopped making them. They're $600, $800, $1,200. I mean, and they're just a couple years old. So anyway, it's nuts, but that's a great sounding album, that Muddy Waters folk singer. Check that out if that's something you're into. I am. I love the blues stuff. Blues is what really opened me up into getting more into jazz and a lot of even older rock and prog rock and psychedelic stuff. But let's talk about the Tenor Conclave. This is bringing together 4 of some of the all-time tenor saxophonists ever to perform jazz music. Hank Mobley, Al Cohn, Zoot Sims, and John Coltrane. And if that wasn't good enough for you, Red Garland playing piano, Paul Chambers on bass, and Art Taylor on drums. This was originally in 62. I'm sorry, guys. There's an older year, released on Prestige Records. Prestige label is also kind of tough to come by. Had a lot of great jazz. There's not a lot of reissues from them. And they're hard to find, especially in the Midwest. I just don't find a lot of Prestige originals. I've actually never seen an original of this album, by the way. I did notice a lot of them are selling for several hundred. A lot of times originals will sell $400 to $600 or $800. I mean, geez, even more. It's pretty wild. Such a cool album, though, and there's definitely a lot of cool and calm parts, but you've got these guys interplaying with each other and doing this stuff, and there's some times where it's really popping off. Really love the sound of this album. All of these players also made a lot of albums. Of course, went on to lead and do albums on Capitol. Of course, Impulse and Blue Note Records and other labels too. This is Sewing Records reissue. It does come in a nice inner sleeve, and it's on clear vinyl. I'm not sure how limited it is or anything. My only complaint is that there's no mark. They don't have the Prestige Records logo or anything on the label like the original one did. They've just kind of repurposed some artwork and changed it. The main artwork is still the same. So I'm happy just to own it, and it happens to be a really nice and quiet, great sounding record. So I'm cool with it. I'll get it however I can get it. So, and it's cool that they put on clear vinyl. Like, not a lot of jazz pieces do you find getting put out on color vinyl. So that's the Tenor Conclave with, I think they did reissue it later on after John Coltrane blew up. There was later reissues where it features it as like a John Coltrane-led album. But definitely a great way to put in the jazz collection. All right, we're moving on to Tool. This is hard to show off on a video just because of how elaborate it is. This is Fear Inoculum. I think it was 13 years or something since the last Tool album had come out. They put out Fear Inoculum here a few years ago. They actually weren't even, they were one of those few bands that wasn't even streaming for forever. And then they dropped an album, and then it came out on a special package CD with a booklet and art. The vinyl is on a 5 LP box set. So it is nice and stretched out. The presentation of the box I'm going to try to show you. Each record also has a different etching or artwork on the B-side that kind of goes along with it. Just the kind of stuff you would expect from Tool. Their artwork has always been so cool and disturbing. This box set is so heavy. So that's just the outer box. And it is like super duper heavy duty. None of this thin, flimsy, cardboardy, what have you. Let's move this stuff around. So the Fear Inoculum box set is in this really also heavy-duty foil art cardboard with just so many. This art book is so cool. Like all the foil, there is, not sure if you're able to see all the like 6, 7, whatever point stars these are with the kind of mapped out dots. But these box inner sleeves, and these like pages on here are kind of like rubbery feeling. It's a very unique material. But the artwork is amazing on this box set. And then it opens up like a flip book, and that's where each record is housed, inside of a nice poly-lined inner sleeve. So, Fear Inoculum takes up pretty much most of the first record, and then the artwork on the back of here, it's like this skull with like the Pope hat on or something almost. Not sure if that's going to show up for you guys, but very elaborate packaging, great sound too. Fear Inoculum, this has actually given me a new respect for what they did with this album and how they released it and all the work put into it. These guys are a great band. I know Tool fans can be a little intense, so I'm not going to get too intense on you, but it's metal, it's progressive, it's dark, it's deep, it's strange, it's floating. There's a lot of like almost tribal rhythms. Danny Carey, the drummer, is just amazing. Oh, I was going to mention James Maynard Keenan, the vocalist, still very strong, very amazing vocals. The whole band just gels together, you know. The bass and the drums, the guitarist is heavy and spot on. Tons of, you know, the polyrhythms and the technical work going on with their songs. But anyway, James Maynard Keenan has really stepped up into an upper level of life and other things, and has a vineyard in Arizona, and it's all about the wine. So I did want to have some wine, but at least sporting my Tool t-shirt. I'll drink some wine eventually and get some and enjoy the rest of this album again. But it's a nice way to reappreciate it. It came out streaming and on CD a few years ago. To actually hear it and, you know, honor it in a way and grab each record one at a time and listen to a couple songs, it is an excellent trip. So these are, you know, I'll have to admit, they actually package them very well, and even the way that we've got the boxes to ship them out in, where it's overstuffed, they've got foam on the sides to protect the box set. I mean, this box is heavy anyway, but that's nice. So if you're ordering from us at cultureshockshop.com, we will make sure they're packaged nice and safe to make it to your home nice and safe. We've got some in store too. I believe the distributors are sold out, so I'm not sure if this is going to stick around long. I doubt it. A lot of times box sets do not. So just one other thing. I mean, I didn't even mention this last week, but new Red Hot Chili Peppers, Unlimited Love came out last week. John Frusciante's back on guitar, just kind of drifting all over the place along with the album. He was their best guitarist, of course. So that was just something that came out last week. So if you didn't watch the videos from last week, or go to the staff picks and go back to rewatch those, please check out all of our Vinyl Happy Hour videos. There's a link below to the staff picks on our website at cultureshockshop.com. We would love to have you purchase some stuff if you want to reserve it for in-store pickup. This stuff here is our Friday releases for this week. We're also prepping for Record Store Day coming up April 23rd. It's going to be a wild and crazy month for vinyl. Of course, we're going to keep a Vinyl Happy Hour video coming every Thursday to you. So see you soon. Cheers.